Dear child, I can hear it in the way you breathe lately. Not loud, not dramatic, just that subtle tightness, like you're holding yourself together one more day. You've been trying to stay reasonable, trying to stay strong, trying to not hope too much, because you know what it feels like to hope and then have to swallow the disappointment. So you learn to do this careful thing, to stand at a distance from your own desire. You tell yourself, maybe help is coming. And then you quickly add, but don't get excited. Beloved, I'm not offended by your caution. I'm not disappointed in the way you protect your heart. I see why you do it. You've had moments where you needed relief, and it didn't arrive in the way you expected. You've had times you prayed in your own quiet way, and then life stayed heavy. You've watched other people get answers faster and wondered what you did wrong. My child, you didn't do something wrong. You're not being punished. You're not forgotten. You are tired. That's what you are. And tired people interpret time differently. When you're tired, a week feels like a season. A season feels like a lifetime. And I know you've been living in that stretch where the days blend together, where you can't tell if you're moving forward or just enduring. So let me speak gently, the way a father would when he sits beside you and doesn't rush you. If you find this help is coming, if you sense it, even faintly, like a small warmth in your chest you can't explain, you're not imagining it. Sometimes your spirit notices before your circumstances do. Sometimes your heart hears footsteps in the hallway before the door opens. And no, that doesn't mean you have to force yourself to be cheerful. It doesn't mean you have to pretend you're fine. It simply means you're allowed to loosen your grip just a little. You're allowed to stop bracing for impact every second. Precious one, you have been living as if you must stay on guard or everything will collapse. But you were never meant to carry life like that. You were meant to be held too. And I am here, not above you, not far away. Here, close enough to feel what you feel. I know the particular shape of your worry. I know the thoughts you don't say out loud. The ones that whisper, what if this never changes? What if I'm always like this? What if I'm asking for too much? Listen to me, my child. Your needs are not an inconvenience. Your tears are not too heavy. Your questions don't scare me. You don't have to earn my tenderness by being composed. Come as you are, even if you're conflicted, even if you're skeptical, even if part of you doesn't want to hope again. I can hold all of that. Now, let's talk about this feeling you have that help is coming. You've noticed small signs, little shifts, a conversation, a moment of clarity, an opening you didn't expect, and then immediately the fear rises up. Don't trust it. Don't believe it. It'll disappear. Beloved, that fear has been trying to keep you safe. It learned its job a long time ago, but it is not the wisest voice in you, it is only the loudest. I am teaching you something softer now, something steadier, something true, not a fantasy, not a fragile wish, a grounded assurance that you are not alone in what you're facing. Sometimes I send help like a sudden rescue, and sometimes I send help like a slow strengthening, the kind that doesn't just change a moment, but changes you from the inside. And I know, you would prefer the first. You would prefer the clean relief, the immediate solution, the kind of help that makes you exhale in one instant and never look back. I understand, but my child, I have been doing more than arranging outcomes. I have been restoring you, because you don't just need a door to open. You need your nervous system to stop living like the world is always about to fall apart. You need your heart to stop apologizing for wanting. You need your mind to stop punishing you for being human. That restoration matters. It matters because when help comes and you finally hold what you've been waiting for, I don't want you to still feel unsafe inside. I don't want you to finally reach the moment you longed for and still be braced. still guarded, still unable to receive. So yes, help is coming, and also, receiving is coming, rest is coming, safety is coming. Not all at once, not as a performance, but as a gradual return to steadiness. Dear family, we want to share an important update with you. Our Buy Me a Coffee account has been deactivated, and we have been informed that all previous contributions from supporters will be refunded. While we respect the platform decision, this has been a difficult moment for us. As many of you know, our YouTube channel has already been demonetized for some time. That means we have continued creating and sharing God messages without any earnings. Behind every video are hours of preparation, prayer, recording, editing, and production expenses. There have been real challenges during these past months, but our commitment to this ministry remains unchanged. We did not begin this journey for income, we began it to spread faith, hope, and encouragement. And by God's grace we will continue. To everyone who tried to support us, even though the funds will be returned to you, please know that your love and willingness to stand with us means more than finances ever could. For those who still feel led to support this work, we now have a PayPal option available in the description. There is absolutely no pressure. God messages will always remain free and accessible to all. We trust that God sees this season, and we believe He will open new doors in His perfect time. Thank you for being part of this family. My child, you have been standing in front of a doorway for longer than you wanted. You've been listening for the sound of it opening. Some days you leaned your forehead against it and felt foolish. Some days you walked away and told yourself it didn't matter. Some days you knocked gently and felt nothing. And still you remained near. That alone says something beautiful about you. You didn't stop wanting life. You didn't stop caring. You didn't stop trying to believe there could be more than survival. Even when you were exhausted, you kept a small place open inside. I have been honoring that place. And I want you to hear me clearly. You are closer than you think. Not because you worked hard enough. Not because you proved yourself. Because timing is not punishment, and delay is not denial. Sometimes the door doesn't open when you're frantic, because you would run through it still bleeding, still panicked, still convinced you're about to lose it, and you deserve better than a life you can't enjoy. So I've been steadying you, softening the fear, teaching your body that you are not in danger just because you're uncertain. You've been learning how to breathe again, even if it only for a moment at a time. That matters. Now, my child, there's another part of this. You've been afraid that if help comes, you won't know what to do with it. You've been afraid that you'll mess it up. You've been afraid that you'll be too much or not enough or late or clumsy or undeserving. Beloved, help is not a test you have to pass. It is support. You don't have to be perfect to be held. You don't have to be flawless to be guided. And you don't have to be fearless to move forward. I can work with trembling hands. I can work with a nervous yes. I can work with a whisper of courage that barely makes it out of your throat. I am not waiting for you to become someone else before I show up for you. I am here for who you are right now. And who you are right now is a person who has been carrying too much. So let's name it gently. You've been carrying pressure. The pressure to figure it out. The pressure to stay functional. The pressure to keep people from noticing how close you feel to the edge sometimes. You've been carrying responsibility that doesn't always feel fair. You've been carrying thoughts like stones in your pockets. What if I'm failing? What if I'm behind? What if I don't have what it takes? My child, I don't measure you the way your fear measures you. I don't tally your worth based on productivity or how composed you look. I see the whole story. I see the nights you fought for sleep. I see the mornings you got up anyway. I see the times you smiled for someone while your heart was aching. I see the invisible labor of trying to stay hopeful when your mind keeps replaying old disappointments. That is not weakness. That is endurance. and endurance deserves tenderness. So here is what I want for you, right now, in this moment as you listen. I want your shoulders to drop a little. I want your jaw to unclench. I want you to stop rehearsing everything that could go wrong like it's your job to prevent pain. Beloved, pain is not always preventable, but you are not helpless, and you are not alone. When help comes, it may not arrive with trumpets. It may arrive in a simple message, a sudden opening in a schedule, a resource you didn't know existed, a person who finally understands, a quiet opportunity that doesn't look dramatic but feels like air. Sometimes help is gentle. Sometimes it is practical. Sometimes it is hidden inside an ordinary day, and you may miss it if you're only looking for a huge event. So I am not asking you to obsess. I am simply inviting you to stay receptive, to stay soft enough to notice. Not anxious soft, but steady soft, like a hand that isn't clenched anymore. My child, you have been trying to force certainty out of a season that can only be lived. But I can give you something better than certainty. I can give you companionship. I can give you the feeling of being led even when you don't see the whole map. I can give you enough light for the next step, and the next. And I know you want the whole plan. You want to know how it will work out, when it will change, who will stay, what will happen if you say yes, what will happen if you say no. Beloved, your mind has been trying to build a fortress out of answers, but answers can't always hold you. I can. So let's do this differently. Instead of asking, will help come? Let me ask you something softer. Can you feel me here with you while you wait? Can you sense that you are not waiting alone? Because, my child, that is the turning point. Waiting is unbearable when it feels like abandonment. But waiting becomes survivable, and even sacred, when it becomes companionship. And I am with you, even in the slow parts, even in the silence, even when you're unsure if anything is happening. Something is happening, not always outside of you, but within you. There is a quiet strengthening taking place. There is a reordering, a settling, a mending, like a seed beneath the soil, not visible, not impressive, but alive. You've been judging yourself by what you can see. But life doesn't begin only when it breaks the surface. Life begins in hidden places. And you, my child, have been becoming. Even when you felt stagnant, even when you felt delayed, even when you felt like you were falling behind. You are not behind. You are in process. And process is not failure. Now listen, precious one. There may be days ahead where you still feel doubt, where you still have moments of sinking. That doesn't mean help stopped coming. It means you are human. So when those moments return, I want you to remember this. You don't have to argue with your fear all day long. You can simply say, I see you. I know why you're here. But you don't get to drive. And then you can turn your attention back to me. Not in a dramatic way. Not in a performance. Just a quiet inward glance. Like looking towards someone who loves you. Because I do. And I have not been watching you from a distance. I have been near enough to catch the small things. The moment you chose kindness when you were irritated. The moment you didn't quit even though you wanted to. The moment you asked for help instead of isolating. The moment you admitted, I can't carry this alone. Beloved, those moments are not small to me. They are the language of your healing. They are signs that you are opening, not perfectly, but truly. Help often comes to the places that open, not because you earned it, but because you're finally able to receive it. So let me restore something in you. You are not a burden. You are not too much. You are not a problem that needs to be managed. You are my child. And I am gentle with you. I am patient with you. I do not shame you for being tired. I do not roll my eyes at your questions. I do not withdraw when you struggle to trust. I stay. That is who I am. Now, I want to speak to the part of you that feels embarrassed for needing help at all. My child, needing help does not make you weak. It makes you real. Even the strongest souls need support. Even the brave need comfort. Even the ones who care for others need someone to care for them. You were not made to be your own savior. You were made to be loved. So if you find help is coming, let your heart make space for it. Not by forcing optimism, but by releasing the belief that disappointment is inevitable. Disappointment has visited you. Yes, but it is not your destiny, and it does not get to define what happens next. There are better days ahead than the ones you've been rehearsing in fear. There is relief that won't vanish the moment you touch it. There is support that won't shame you. There is direction that won't confuse you. And there is love, steady love, that won't punish you for being a work in progress. Beloved, I know you've been trying to read the signs, trying to interpret every silence, every delay, every closed door. But I am not playing games with you. I am not dangling hope and pulling it away. I am not teaching you a cruel lesson. I am walking with you toward what is next. And sometimes what is next arrives quietly. So quietly you realize afterward, oh, that was the beginning. So don't despise small beginnings. Don't overlook gentle shifts. Don't ignore the moments your body relaxes for no obvious reason. Sometimes that is your spirit recognizing safety. Sometimes that is me letting you feel, even for a moment, what it like to not carry everything alone. My child, I am not asking you to rush forward. I am not pushing you past your pace. I am simply inviting you to trust this. You are being helped more than you can see. You are being guided more than you can explain. You are being protected in ways you may never fully know. And you are being prepared for a kind of relief that doesn't just change your circumstances, it changes how you live inside them. So let end this moment the way a loving father would, not with a demand, not with pressure, but with presence. Come closer, my child. Let your breath slow. Inhale, not to perform, not to prove, but to receive. Exhale, as if you're setting down one heavy thing from your hands. Just one. You don't have to drop everything at once. You're allowed to set it down piece by piece. And as you breathe, let this settle in you. I am here. I am not leaving. Help is not a rumor. It is on its way. And some of it is already beside you, holding you up in ways you didn't notice until now. So rest, my child. Not because everything is solved, but because you are not alone. Breathe, and let your heart be softly open to the good that is coming. I will stay with you through the doorway, through the waiting, through the unfolding, quietly, faithfully, close. Amen. Beloved family, I want to sincerely thank those of you who stood with us during this challenging season. Even after our YouTube demonetization and the closure of our Buy Me a Coffee account, many of you chose to understand our situation and support this ministry with faith and generosity. You did not just give support, you gave strength. In a time of uncertainty, your encouragement reminded us that this mission truly matters. Please know that God sees every act of kindness done in His name. What you have sown into this ministry is not forgotten. We pray that the Lord bless your home, guide your steps, strengthen you in every season, and reward your kindness in His perfect way and time. May His peace and favor surround you always.